Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever for a Subpar Commander! Played on the map Setons. You know it, you love it, you hate it, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful map and a beautiful day for some FAF coverage. Let's go ahead and get into player introductions, starting with Team 1 in the north and ending with Team 2 in the south. But before we do, please consider going down below into the buttons. Yes, the buttons. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please consider leaving a comment telling me which team you think will win today. Let's go ahead and get into introductions, starting with the rear guard position for Team 1. He is a green UEF. He has started with a air factory, and his name is Boblin. Then over to the south at the rock position, we have another green player, a dark green Aeon, also going first land, and his name is Ghouls, or maybe it's supposed to be Jewels, but I don't think that makes any sense. I think it's Ghouls. So we're gonna go with Ghouls there. As we move on to the front position for Team 1, a maroon Cybran walking away from his factory and towards the reclaim in the middle by the name of Tick Dr. Elwyn. I think Tick Dr. Elwyn? That might be a her. I'm not sure. Elwyn seems like a... So it seems like a female name, but I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Somebody in the comments will let me know as we introduce our last player, a Cyan Cybran. The alliteration, is it alliteration? I don't know. The sound there, very nice. And his name is Frundator. And then we can move on to the southern team, starting with the rear guard position. Once again, we have a purple Aeon going first air by the name of... What's his name? Oh, yeah, this one is Simi. Sorry. I lost the script there for a second as we move up to the blue Cybran going first there in the rock position for Team 2. And his name is Knack Attack 73. Ooh, liking these names so far as we move on to the front position for Team 2 with the dark blue UEF going first land. And he is here to spread his ways. He is Virus 008. Then over to the last but certainly not least player in the beach position for Team 2 going first land as a purple UEF. His name is Rick. And with all of that introduced, all of that out of the way, we can look at the map and kind of just tell you what we expect here. Let me go ahead and get the camera set up. So here we have the causeway, the very important part of the map. We have about 13,000 reclaim right here for these players to scoop up. And then we have these two islands, which are the earliest points of contention for either of these teams. And these two islands are used primarily to help the economy of the rock player, but the beach player can deny them. They have 5 mexes each, and these players are going to get out very early air factories to get out transports to shove engineers over onto them. We also have a little bit of an interesting play coming out that we normally see coming from the beach player, but this time coming out from the rock player on Team 1. You can see this commander over here for Ghouls is moving forward to try and help the doctor in the middle, and on the other side we might see Rick do something similar, or we could even see Frundator come over here and make it a 3-player comm push in the middle. Could be a very, very powerful play. The reason you normally see the beach player make this move is the beach player has a much shorter distance to walk. The rock player has to walk all the way around, so it's a little bit more inconvenient. But as we can see here, Ghouls is making their way over. We also have the commander of Virus. He decided to build a little bit more of his base before walking out, so the doctor is in, and the doctor's going to get to the reclaim first. Have they already queued up all of the reclaim? What an ambitious reclaim order here. I think that all of this, yes, in fact, every single bit of it reclaimed up for the doctor. Let's see if they can manage to keep that queue going. Maybe they'll just ignore the commander and let that happen. and if that happens, that could be quite big, as over here in the middle, Virus critically still nowhere close, and the Doctor is already almost into the reclaim field, so this is going to be very, very interesting to see here. It is, of course, a subpar commander, which means we have some players who are not necessarily as well equipped as some of the normal players you see on these casts, but they have the same amount of heart and grit to throw into this game as anybody else, and it's going to be a banger for sure. So let's go ahead and speed back up to 0 speed as we have the map, the players, and the general way the game should pan out in the cards already explained. And let's go ahead and just see how the reclaim here in the middle is going. We have a early scout already coming out from Boblin. He wants to get some information for his team. Let's see if that is going to affect him too horribly here. No, he got the scout out. Now he's going for the T2 Air Factory very, very quickly. Need to rush up that tech tree as the air player, otherwise he might run into a little bit of trouble. And a T2 mech's already finishing up for Semi. Don't see a T2 mech's done yet for Boblin, and he hasn't even managed to expand all of his mechs, but I guess his opponent hasn't either. And these players all going out, grabbing the mechs as quickly as possible. Expanding very quick is a key tenet of Seton's. And over here to the east, we have a transport drop already onto the rock for Ghouls, but he's been very, very slow at expanding to his mechs over here, prioritizing getting onto this island and dealing with the more exposed mechs first. Gonna have to see how that pans out for him. Seems to be a little bit distracted. Does have the commander walking all the way up here, about to reach its move order. And Doctor, give me the news. Got a bad case of getting all of the reclaim here for Dr. Elwin, already up to 3.3 thousand. And here soon going to be moving their way over to the Salem Rex, and if they can manage to get just these 2 Salem Rex, they've already gotten the mass majority of the reclaim on this side of the map. So let's see how well Dr. Elwin can manage it. We're going to leave it on reclaim for the early game. I will make sure to switch back to the mass generation values, but right now this is the most important bit of all of this. And now we have Dr. Elwin already walking away, and Virus critically didn't queue up reclaim, just went for the one little batch of reclaim there. So Elwin gonna just be ahead, and Elwin already up to nearing 5,000 mass. Will probably hit 5,000 mass during reclaiming this Salem. So right now Dr. Elwin with a very, very clean opener, getting a lot of value here, already getting multiple T2 mechs. Maybe hasn't expanded to all of their mechs quite as quickly as they could have, but is going to make up for that by sheer upgrade power alone, and is easily getting up there as far as mass generation is concerned, up to 25 with less mechs. Is gonna be able to get that up very quickly. Dr. Elwin now starting to take some damage out of some units coming out from the base of Virus, but if Elwin does nothing more than simply grab this reclaim and walk away, they will be in a strong point. Rick now sending the commander to the middle, but Ghouls has already made their way all the way over here, and Dr. Elwin needs to be careful, needs to keep an eye on this commander. 4,000 HP is not a lot to play with, but Ghouls might show up and be just enough to help Elwin play this greedy style and get all of the reclaim, already up to 6.3 thousand and rising quickly. A very strong showing coming out from the Maroon Cybran. And both of these islands going to be going to the Rock players. No real contestation out from either Beach player to try and take over that island themselves. So overall, that's going to be going about as planned. Dr. Elwin going to start falling back. Virus trying to get a little bit more reclaim, but he has firmly lost the early reclaim war. And overall, that means that Team 1 is still behind in total mass generated, because they're just not doing quite as well with the upgrades, with the overall expansion. Ghouls, probably a big part of that. Ghouls is much behind his peer, his competition, his slot competition. He has 2 T2 mechs, but still hasn't grabbed all of his natural mexes, and over here on this side, we see Knack Attack is nearing the top of the mass charts, whereas Ghoul is down. Maybe once all of these mexes are grabbed up, the teams will equalize a bit, but they are very close in total mass generated. Semi doing a very good job of scaling their economy up, already up to over 50 mass a second, and Elwin is getting a lot of T2 mexes. I think there might be some power problems going on with the likes of Team 1 as well, but we'll have to keep an eye on it, see how it pans out. But Elwin definitely taking the win as far as the early game efficiency and reclaim prioritization goes. They're already up to 5 T2 mexes, having a little bit of trouble spending that mass. When that happens, just throw a couple more mexes on upgrade and get some more production. You can start winning this, and this is just a point for everybody to look at. If you are a player who is around this rating racket range and you are doing well with the aggression, doing well with the reclaim, you only need to add one more thing on, and that's either getting more production or upgrading production. Going to T2 is a good call here. T2 build power will help you out a little bit, but you can eco as well as possible. But if you are unable to spend the mass, then all you're doing is overflowing to your allies, which isn't bad, but isn't great. Ghouls has critically forgotten that this mass extractor exists. Something is queued to build it. I don't know what that is. Apparently it's this engineer right here who was assisting an air factory. Range now on the way for Ghouls. Ghouls gonna try and be a little bit aggressive here on the front with the commander, and a lot of units are now pouring out of the base of Virus. See, Virus doesn't have as much mass income, but he's just got so much more production, and that's really gonna start helping him out. Elwin, while they got all of the reclaim, they kind of just critically forgot to build more units. And he's gonna need more factories, or she is gonna need more factories, or this is gonna be a little bit of a problem trying to get some frontline factories here. If you lose this, this is gonna be a very difficult position to hold, but with 2 commanders here able to fire, and with range on Ghouls, that will mean that this retreat of these units won't go well, and just enough units for Elwin was built up. You love to see it, and now there's gonna be a reclaim field, and we already know Elwin is really good at reclaiming, so right now this area is a big win for the northern team. Meanwhile, on the southern side, we have to look at Navy, and right now what's standing out to me is Rick. Rick has gotten a decent bit of production online now and has gotten some boats into the water. Meanwhile, his opponent, Ghouls, still no naval factory, still forgetting some mexes. Really just struggling with all of this, trying to be aggressive with the commander, but not really taking care of the duties that he has with his base. So that is a bit of a worry for this northern team. The rock position is usually your carry, but if you're naval locked this early, it could get real bad real fast. So something to keep our eyes on. Meanwhile, in the northern pond, both players getting some naval factories. A T2 naval rush coming out from Knack Attack. Love to see it. A destroyer already on the way. That Salem is being built. Of course, doesn't really have the mass for it. Generally, you want to be looking at 70, 80 mass before you're building that destroyer. So does need to focus a lot on getting some of this reclaim, on getting his mexes up and built a little bit better. As here in the middle, we have another attack going on, but this time Elwin just has more, and in top of that, we have Elwin now throwing up some Cerberus. Elwin playing a pretty solid game here, and I'm happy to see that happening. As far as the air positions go, T3 air has been started for Boblin. What about on the southern side? Ras has been started up, and it's going to finish. A Ras Rush coming out from Semi. Maybe Semi hasn't played in a while and thinks that Ras Rush is better than the T3 Pigeon Rush. But T3 Pigeon is the more optimal build here. Ras will somewhat work, but you're going to be in a bit of a rough position as this is just going to be slower. Meanwhile, Boblin, who's already started that T3 upgrade for his factory, is going to be in a strong position. Doesn't quite have enough of those T2 pigeons up yet. You usually want 2, but has gotten full T2 mass extractors, and that's putting him at 70 mass a second. Semi, not quite at full T2 mass extractors, but he isn't power stalling currently. Let's see, Semi is getting some power help with that 78 mass a second. Meanwhile, Boblin, he's not power stalling either. I don't know how he was at, they're at similar mass values currently. I guess Semi must have been getting some reclaim right there. And in the middle, got a transport bringing forward some T2 units. Is that a ferry? He's ferrying units. That's quite interesting to see. That'll be useful for whenever he gets bricks online. And right now, a bunch of Mantis helping Ghouls get a range upgrade, I would assume. I mean, we can just see. Is it one of the arm upgrades? Is that a back upgrade? No, that has to be an arm upgrade. Can I see it over here? Ghouls is going for shield. Wow, range and shield, no speed yet. Maybe he's unaware of that speed exists, but over here, Ghouls has built his first naval factory, but unfortunately for him, it's going to be the first, and it may be the last one to complete for him, as submarines and frigates show up, and Ghouls is just unprepared to deal with this. I mean, I guess he has a torpedo bomber already out and on the map, and give me just one moment, everybody. Sorry about that, everybody. I had a tickle in my throat, and I just kind of had to cough it out, and didn't want you all to have to sit through that. We do see that torpedo bomber getting to work. Unfortunately, though, not in time to save the naval factory, which is going to be a bit of a problem here. Mass torpedo bomber could work, and considering that both sides are just a little bit behind on getting T3 air, this could be big. T3 on the way for semi. This build, I have to be honest with you, this is just suboptimal. He could already be producing ASF right now if he didn't go for RAS, and he's going to go for T3 Pigeons, and he still hasn't started the T3 HQ upgrade. So right now, despite him being very economy focused, he's even behind in mass generation despite getting that upgrade. I'm a little bit worried for him because T3 Air is about to finish up for Boblin. If he gets himself a few T3 engineers, builds up some T3 Pigeons, he'll be producing air minutes faster than the opposition. So we have to keep our eyes on what's going to go on. Shield heavy on the way for Ghouls, and he cannot afford that. And I see why Elwyn is not going to help with that. Range and speed have finished up, but shield heavy, that's a heavy investment right now for him. He doesn't have the power generation for it. Like, there's just no way. But I guess overflow. Wait, no. I guess overflow is a hell of a drug. I don't know where all of his power generation is coming from. Has a T2 land factory over here. Just a very interesting situation for our dark green Aeon player. Just overall seems to be going for everything and getting nothing. But with a super heavy shield comm, could maybe manage to push all of this back. I mean, there's really just a bunch of T1 here and a super heavy shield comm, especially if they remember to get a overcharge e-storage, which they have, could be enough to really change the tides here. They're both front players are at T2 land. Both of them are producing quite a bit of it. Both of them are sitting on relatively even economies. I mean, I would think that Elwyn is a little bit ahead of Virus, and that is true. So here in the middle, I'm expecting a fight to break out, because here soon Rick will be able to pressure this, especially if Rick uses all these engineers to go T2, start getting up some governors, could very, very easily start changing the outlook of this game into his team's favor. At least for the moment. We have multiple tactical missile launches out and on the way. What are they going for? They're going for a mechs, but critically, if these missiles decide to retarget to go for this T2 HQ, that could cripple the production of Virus. And now all of these Medusa out front, they're just going to start peppering all of these enemy incoming units. And since there's not a ton of micro going on, these Medusa are going to be hugely valuable. And even if these units break through all of this, they have to deal with a Cerberus, a shield, a super heavy soon-to-be shield commander. And right now, Ghouls and Elwyn looking very strong here in the middle. Mostly Elwyn, but Ghouls here, they just got rid of the army. This commander can push, and push hard very, very soon. Meanwhile, in the northern pond, we do have T2 Navy finished up, but no real fighting going on between Nakatak and Frondator, as a lot of scouts now out in the air. T3 Air has been finished up. A T3 Pigeon on the way. Sam's going up in the base. I love to see it. Boblin already got T3 Air done and dusted, and T3 Air production can actually go ahead and just start up right now for our main man semi. Like, despite everything, he managed to just do it faster. I think it's because he has a lot more build power in the area to assist with this, but overall economy, Semi is falling behind in the mass generation numbers, does have a lot of build power, can get out a lot of factories, but needs to be a little bit worried because his opponent is just getting more T3 mexes. He was really on top of it. And Virus losing some mexes there. Critically doesn't lose the factories. I think attacking the factories would be a good play here, but not gonna come out from Elwyn just yet. Maybe this volley is going for it. Parashield might save the day, and does indeed. Did look like it was going for the factory. One more launch would get it. And T3 land now on the way for Elwyn. In this Southern Navy, T2 is finished up, and Governors on the way. This is going to start looking very, very dire for Ghouls in the very short term. He's going to be in a very rushed position. I don't know how he's going to be able to deal with it, honestly. He's going to need a ton of torpedo bombers if he wants any chance of getting back into the water. Or actually just getting into the water in the first place. I mean, he still hasn't finished just one naval unit. There still hasn't been one produced by Ghouls, but has a super heavy shield comm, which is going away from the enemy. Yeah, that's, you know what? You know what? Security and safety. You always gotta use protection. And right now, Ghouls knows that better than anybody. Super heavy shield comm. No snipe is going to get him. And Elwyn, on the other hand, currently kicking off a fight, has a lot of hoplites here in the background and is doing the micro properly, letting the hoplites stay back, just using this T1 as kind of a buffer. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. And Virus just keeps pushing forward and fighting, and right now, Elwyn already up to 16,000 reclaim. And that is all of that is thanks to the fact that Elwyn has focused heavily on reclaim and just not taking aggressive fights, letting all the fights being on your territory. It can really let you scale up your economy pretty quickly, but needs to be careful as they haven't gotten a T3 mechs yet, and their opposition is capping all of the mexes as we speak, so that's going to help out quite a little bit with keeping the mass generation relatively even, but it's 78 versus 82, because 2 T3 mexes that are about to finish being capped is better than just slowly doing whatever's going on here. You need more upgraded mexes. It's the long, short, and medium of it. Because if you don't have these upgraded, you're gonna stop scaling economically. Really like the early game out of Elwyn, but that's a bit of a mistake coming through. As over here to the east, we have a lot of frigates and submarines sitting off the coast of this island. And now we're seeing mass miasma going to be employed by Ghouls. It doesn't seem like Ghouls really wanted to play the rock position. And it's gotten a T3 mechs and half-capped one of the T2 mexes and still has a bunch of T1 mexes. You gotta do this housekeeping, and got a super heavy shield comm just to run all the way back behind the front base. Yeah, this is a misallocation of resources. This is about as effective as taxpayer money is used. All I gotta say. We found the person who decided how taxpayer money is spent. It's Ghouls, everybody. It doesn't matter what country you're in, you agree. As down here to the south, Rick getting T2 on the commander. Wonder what that's for. Also has started building up governors. Critically, the governors could be very, very useful. Some of those miasmas going down right now due to combined frigate and governor fire. And this island, really not long for the world. Ghoul's going to lose most of his T2 mexes because decided that these were better for upgrading than the ones in his base. And that's going to be a rough one. Mr. Ghouls very struggling. And that's going to mean that this eastern side is pretty much a complete loss for the northern team. But on the north side of the map, the northern team is going to be able to fight. And the fight right now looking pretty good for Frondator. Haven't talked about them much, but they've been silently ecoing, silently getting up the production that they need, and in fact have been out-ecoing the rock position. That early T2 rush out from Knack Attack is coming back to attack him, as he's just got less eco, which means that sure, for the short term, he has more T2 units, but he just lost most of the useful ones. He lost the destroyers. He's got a cruiser, a siren, and a barracuda. Meanwhile, the other side is able to just produce more destroyers. It's not about the units that you have on the field right now. It's about how many you can replace them with when they die. If every time you lose a unit you're producing 2 more, you're winning. If you produce a few more units early but don't have the economy to keep pumping out more, well, you're gonna slowly lose. You'll still have units. You'll be able to put up a fight for a little while, but over here we can see that macro game is the focus here, and kudos to Frondator, who has just really done well, even going for T3 land. Why not? Why not get T3 land? Gonna get some power, can throw some stuff over to his ally, and Semi just control Ks. What is that all about, Junior? Okay, T2. Why did Semi give up? The base is gonna go over to Virus, the highest rated player for the southern team, and there's a strat bomber out over here. T3 air was achieved by Rick. Everybody's just going crazy. It's all just random. Let's go ahead and track this strat bomber, see how much damage it can get done. I think it's going for mexes. Will it be able to get them? Flies over a bunch of Sky Slammers. Not the start you want to see for your strat bomber. You don't want to see it go to 500 HP, and yeah, that... He just dropped more mass on the enemy than he killed. Yeah. Not a good showing coming out from that strat bomber. But Rick admittedly has won his side and is getting economic damage done. That was economic damage. This, much more cost-effective economic damage. And right now, Ghouls is just seemingly gonna capitulate at the first sign of danger. Is getting up a Restorer? Does he want a Restorer Cloud to maybe deal with this? Doesn't have T3 Pigeon, so this is all off of Overflow, really. And doesn't have a way to deal with this. Went for T2, got some flak. Just a very interesting situation. Wondering why Semi decided to control K, though. Definitely was building an air grid, but I think was a little bit behind on mass generation, maybe. I mean, not really a problem now. The mass generation for the Southern Team air player are going to be insane. But so is the mass generation for Boblin, who is building one of the most satisfying mass fab farm / RASCOM production plants you could ever imagine. He's going to make a lot of RASCOMs. He's going to eco real hard. But is it going to be worth it? He needs air production. He has like 1 or 2 ASF. His opponent has 30. This is not going well. And now the governors are starting to lay siege to Elwyn, deciding that, Ghouls hasn't done too much. Why focus on him? Let's focus on the player who won mid. And speaking of winning mid, I completely didn't notice this, but a huge land push in the middle. Virus. I think he lost a lot of his production to those tactical missile launchers, and he also just lost a lot of army by repeatedly running in, and now he's going to lose a lot more. Has a bunch of PD set up. If he can set up some more, maybe he can stop this from being an issue, but what's the long-term plan? Gonna start building Percivals, but now just fire basing for their life. And a lot of these units are gonna go down for Elwyn. I guess Virus just wants to play the air game now. Instead, just gonna fire base in the middle and play the air game. Meanwhile, governors are gonna start sieging down most of this area. They're just going to kill off everything. There's not going to be anything left. All of these governors out from Rick, and Rick has already done the transition to T3 air. I mean, he needs to get up some T3 power generators, but who's complaining? If he has enough overflow, he can just constantly make strat bombers and go for snipes. Overall, I think the Southern team is in a really, really strong position, and it's mostly because of Rick. The Northern team was looking good in this Navy up here, but wasn't able to push down the position of Nakatek. And now there's a battleship out on the field, and you don't have your own battleship. That's a problem. He's up to 190 mass a second, has lost critically some of these mass extractors. I wonder what that was too. Most likely a strat bomber, if I had to guess. Is there a strat bomber wreck somewhere around here? What is that? Spy plane, maybe? Really not sure what that was. Another Rascom production facility queued up over here. And yeah, that's going to be a lot of Rascoms coming out of these factories. Boblin is in it for the long haul, already up to over the income of Virus, who is on 2 bases with a relatively large amount of T3 mass extractors, and building his own mass fab Rascom production facility. I love low-rated games. Their priorities are so great. This is how FAF was meant to be played, okay? Don't let those high-rated pros who are going to be in the comments, oh, this was painful to watch, this shouldn't have been casted. Don't let them ruin your time. If you're having fun like me, if you're laughing, if you're smiling, then you're enjoying life. Don't let the stuck-up people who get upset about bad plays ruin your fun. Tactical missile launches to try and kill governors. They killed the Bulwark shield ship's shield. Speaking of which, I think this was before the most recent patch, so the Bulwarks are still expensive and not spammable. But in upcoming games on the most current patch, we're going to see some spammable Bulwarks. Believe you me. And that's going to be just a bunch of cruisers with a bunch of shielding trying to get damage done. And the more cruisers you get, the better this situation becomes. As we wait to see what's going on with these players. T3 mechs is being built up now by Elwin. Wants to scale the economy a little bit more. Lots of ASF now produced for Virus. I don't know if Virus understands. Virus doesn't have an Omni. So maybe thinking that doesn't really have the air advantage, may think they're behind. But right now, Virus sitting in a strong point as far as air production is going. Boblin, on the other hand, is looking strong with the fact that they're building a Fat Boy, have the Rascom production facility of the century, and it's going to build a second one. This is like Tesla's Mega Factory or Gigafactory, but better. 2 SMDs right next to each other because he can never be too safe. Boblin embodies us all at one point in our life. And here in the middle, the governors are breaking through the main base. They're going to get some damage done. Loyalists being produced. That might be a good idea. Could have some of these missiles go back to the cruisers from whence they came. And that T3 mechs that just finished up, it's going to be built again. The tactical missile launches are more expensive than he really can afford. Needs to stop trying to send those out. They're never going to get anything. And these governors are just so oppressive right now. And we now have a loyalist. Where is it going to go? Is he actually using the loyalist for its missile redirect? Don't tell me he's using the loyalist for its redirect. Oh, totally is. Are any of the missiles going back? Any of the missiles going back? Oh, I have to catch this. On another note, over here in the north, the mass destroyer out of Frondator is doing very well. It's pretty much just a battleship versus the world, but needs to be careful. Can't get too close. These harms are going to be dangerous to deal with. And the turtling out from Knack Attack may be enough to protect him for a while. Gonna keep on building up these Galaxy classes. Got a Command class to try and get, I guess, some air production up. But over here to the east, the Loyalists, I think he's trying desperately to use the Loyalists' tactical missile deflection. But you have to get so close in order to stop that, and one of the missiles was deflected. How many Loyalists does he need to use? Is constantly deflecting missiles back, and critically, I don't think the shields will be stopping these missiles at all. No, they float right underneath the shields, and we're seeing governors die to their own missiles. Oh no! I think one governor is already dead from its own missiles. 1 second. I have to slow this down. I need to get a picture of this. I need the loyal. This is such intense micro going on too. Come on, one of you start redirecting. Oh, thank you for that shot. And then we need to look over here. And we need to speed up to get the missile coming back in. At least one missile is coming back. Which ship is it gonna hit? Oh, this is epic. Look at it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh! Oh, that's the moments that I live for. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. It's such a clever way to try and fight the cruisers. Is it gonna work? I have no idea. He needs more than 3 Loyalists to make this work. But the missiles are coming back, and the cruisers are slowly dying. Oh. He needs more Loyalists. He needs more Loyalists, and he needs to, like, start predicting where the... Oh, the missiles are coming in to kill the Loyalists. Oh, no, the Loyalists. My heroes. Oh, yes. Oh, retribution. That is sweet. Sweet Victory. Somebody play Sweet Victory from SpongeBob. It's royalty free. I'll try and remember to throw that in editing. I might or might not. We'll see. And oh, that's another dead T2 mechs. Honestly, despite the meme play that has won hearts and minds, this Southern team is looking strong. Looking real strong. Gonna need more Loyalists, is all I gotta say. And unfortunately for him, I don't think he can afford more. 47 or her. Tick Dr. Elwin. I don't know if him or her. We don't wanna offend people. We'll use they for the time being. And right now they are building up more Loyalists, but needed to build up more than just the 3. Stopped production for a bit, or spent all their mass elsewhere for a bit, and now this base all but forfeit. Would love to see if they, like, requested a bunch of Loyalists from Frondator, but Frondator, more focused on winning Navy, lost a huge naval engagement here, killed 1 galaxy, but lost like 3 galaxies worth of Navy defending against that, but has his own battleships out onto the field. Knack Attack still trying desperately to defend. This island is a no man's land, and this island over here now claimed by Rick. And the SCU production for Boblin, we must know it's a needed figure. Already up to 11. 11 RAS SCUs. That one factory is going to be doing very well. Fat Boy completed for Ghouls. Might be able to send this in to kill off the cruisers. Although the cruisers could just run away. Experimental given to Elwyn. And Elwyn still has a bit of a T2 and T1 land army. But Elwyn all but eliminated from the game, much like Ghouls. And it's really quickly coming down to Frondator and Boblin versus all of Team 2. Knack Attack hasn't been outright defeated yet, so they don't have a one pond yet. And that's a lot of Strat Bombers. Strat Snipe coming out from Virus. Is it gonna be enough? The air fight ensues. And the air fight isn't really an air fight. This is just a bunch of ASF flying in front of a bunch of Strat Bombers and dying for it. And the Strat Bombers stop moving. Oh. That was kind of botched. The Strat Bombers are coming in. Looks like it might be going for the comm, but Virus, despite horrid air micro, wins the air fight by sheer numbers. And they're going for the SMD, which might be the most lightly shielded object here, but there's another Strats coming in, going for the power generator. The SMD goes down. Oh no, it's a disaster. Down goes the power generator as well. No SMD is a sad, sad time. Where is the nuke? I know there's a nuke sub in the northern pond, but there is a nuke loaded and ready. Can I get this in time? I can. And here we go. The nuke is gonna make its way across the map. And the base of Boblin is gonna be falling. And he's gonna be crying. And this is all done and over but the singing. I don't know if Boblin can recover from this. In comes the missile and down goes the base. You can't explain it. And what a beautiful explosion it was. And we now have a second nuke coming from the nuke sub. And it's going for the base of Frondator, but it's not gonna find too much success. That base going down really hasn't affected the numbers too much. Boblin's still sitting on an overwhelmingly oppressive economy. Can they recover? Is the critical question to ask here. They have a lot of SCUs. One Giga Chad play would be build 30 Atlantis and let them become his air production. He definitely has the build power to just spam them up right now. But that's a lot of micro. Atlantis require a lot of babysitting to make sure they keep building. And the governors are trying to kill off a Fat Boy. And the Fat Boy is winning. Kind of crucially, the Fat Boy is kind of just losing, not winning. I didn't mean that the Fat Boy was winning. Did I say the Fat Boy was winning? I don't know, I'm going crazy. But the Fat Boy most certainly not doing well in that engagement. Another Fat Boy on the way, not really going to achieve too terribly much. A lot of RASCOM factories have been built up. Elwyn sitting on 16 mass a second, but has big dreams. And this is looking brutal. Meanwhile, over here to the west, the naval engagement from Frondator and Knack Attack is about to happen. Frondator has more navy. And they're targeting the one place that Knack Attack didn't really defend, which was the base. You can just kind of get in here, kill off a lot of these mexes, and be looking pretty. And you're already massively ahead of Knack Attack economically. If you can get rid of his little economy that he does have, you'll be in a good position. Another nuke being launched. Where is it going? The critical question at hand is going up for the base of Frondator, but he's loaded his second anti-nuke, and that is gonna be a huge, momentous moment. Frondator right now kind of propping up his team, has his own nuke sub finished up, a plan B. And man, this is interesting. We do have a huge naval push now coming out from Frondator. Has managed to kill off what was remaining of Nakatak's navy. And Nakatak not looking like he's in the greatest of positions right now. And that could spill over. These battleship will soon be able to fire into this base. Sure, there's a bunch of T2 artillery, but, I mean, does that really matter when you have this many battleships? I mean, I guess they outrange it, but they can't really run away. And I'm pretty sure a battleship can hit all the way over here if it gets right here in the pond. So that should be alright. And the battleships coming in, the base of Nakatak going out. You can't explain it. As over here to the middle of the map, we got ourselves the Governor Flotilla. Not really getting too much done. Don't know why a summit was built. Would love to see more focus on air or literally anything but Navy out from Rick, because the Navy isn't going to win it for you from here on out. Loyalists trying to deflect missiles again. Strap bomber coming out, getting damage down. Seems as though Virus is just going to brute force it. Strap bombers to kill off battleships. There is some AA in the mix. A cruiser or two would be good for him to kill off one or two of those cruisers. I think it's only one cruiser, but hey. Instead, just focusing the high health battleships, which can take the hits. But he has so many strap bombers coming out. Is coming in, is going to get the siren. So these strap bombers going to become a lot more cost effective here in the coming moments at killing off the Navy. They can just keep on making passes. A nuke sub out. I don't know how close that is to loading. Lots of strap bombers coming down, trying to kill off the Fat Boy. Will they be able to get it? Yes, they will. There's only one SAM in sight, and air production is pitifully low. And he's going for it. He's going for the Mass Atlantis. Strap bombers come in. Fat Boy goes down. ASF come in. Strap bombers go down. 'Tis the circle of life. And yeah, that's going to be quite a few torpedo bombers being built by these Atlantis. Wants to win Navy, or wants to at least get rid of the cruisers. The base has been rebuilt, kind of. There's a lot of reclaim over here. Nuke launchers and SMD being spammed up at the factory. That's just the name of it now, the factory. And Boblin sitting now on 25 SCUs, decided to slow down production a little bit. Boblin wants to go mass nuke. Meanwhile, on the other side, a Duke still under construction. It's just one T3Com building it, so that's going to take a long time. But eventually that will be done. Another nuke launcher on the way for Virus. The battleships in the middle are slowly taking down this entire base. Strategic launch detected. Who is that out of? Where is that at and where is it going? It's over here. And where's it going? It's trying to get in towards the base of Frondator yet again. It's going for it, and he's managed to run into the Atlantis, and the nuke is stopped. This anti-nuke has been a hero. It had just finished loading for like the third or fourth time. It barely finishes loading right before a nuke comes. That luck is gonna stray here soon. Another nuke just loaded. Is it already firing? If it is, Frondator is doomed. I don't think it's firing. It's idle. Unfortunato. Wants to build up multiple nukes, but had he known that if he just fired immediately, he could remove one of the last obstacles in his path. I'm sure he would have gone for it. And mass nuke sub now coming out for Dater. He's seen my casts, I think. The casts of many players winning on this map with mass nuke sub. And I think he's going for it. But critically, don't believe he has the air cover to keep these nuke subs alive. Virus knows that that's a nuke sub. And I'm sure that torp bombers will be on his mind. Another nuke launched, but this time he's going for the man who has multiple loaded antis. Oh, he could have had greatness, but he's decided to stall out and settle for mediocrity, as he's gonna have his nuclear hellfire denied for the second time this game. And yeah, Boblin really wants to build a lot of his own nukes. This middle base finally defended, and the anti-nuke critically survives. But these strap bombers now don't have any target as far as the Navy is concerned. What will they do? Boblin's built yet another Atlantis. Gonna keep building more. Needs to build something other than Storks, preferably ASF. They are kind of what's going to be able to save you here. Or you could just use the Atlantis as a bunch of SAMs. Honestly, aircraft carriers are kind of the way to go right now for Frondator. I wouldn't think of NAC Attack's Navy being a huge threat here. Although, I guess more Galaxies couldn't hurt to just stop any kind of Navy attempt there. Maybe some Salems to go with them. But honestly, there's enough Atlantis here that they can just go kill off all this if needed. And over here to the east, we have another strat snipe attempt coming out from Rick. And it's going for an anti-nuke. One that's loaded, in fact. But Rick is not... I mean, he's probably going to get it, but at what cost? It's a lot of strat bombers for one anti-nuke. Those are a bunch of bouncers that are going to finish killing it off. Kills off the anti-nuke. Doesn't even get the T3 air HQ. Boblin hopping back onto a Continental. Boblin just building up Storks. How many Storks does he have in storage? Oh, it doesn't tell you. A lot is the answer. Many. Very many Storks. Probably enough to just deal with this, if it ever threatens. Nuke subs over here. Is it about to be loaded? Where is it firing? It's firing on the land units over here, because Virus has won land thanks to Rick's Navy, and it's just sent out Percivals to go deal with all of this. There's going to be a couple of RAS SCUs trying to defend, but unfortunately they're RAS SCUs. Broadswords are going to be dispatched to deal with this. Poor Elwyn has gotten the short end of the stick for the entire game. Except for the very early game, things have not gone Elwyn's way. The RAS SCU production going to be slowed down significantly by the fact that they're all turned on, and all that Elwyn really has is 61 mass a second. Not a lot to be building RAS SCUs with. Virus now has one Duke completed, a second on the way, and a third on the way as well. So mass T3 artillery gonna be coming online over here, and the defenses over here, the SMD, the nuke launcher, the T3 HQ for Frondator are down. But they have 7 Atlantis. 7 Atlantis is many. Where are they going? To fight the Navy. 8 Atlantis now. They will win that naval fight. Believe you me. The ASF are flying over the SAM lines. The ASF are dying really badly. Yeah, that didn't go well. There's a bunch of anti-nukes there. You won't be able to get it. I think right now the play for the northern team is wait until most of these nuke subs are loaded. And some of them are seemingly about to be done. Very, very close to loading, it would seem. I can't tell. I don't know if they are loading their nukes or not yet. Some of them have to be, but none of them are actually carrying a nuke as far as I can tell. Holy crap! I don't know what I want the thumbnail to be. That's a lot of Atlantis! They, and they're doing really well for themselves. Some of them even have veterancy already. Holy... Oh, and there's just gonna be more. You can win air just by telling them to build ASF right now. That's a lot of strat bombers. Unfortunately, all the comms are in the water, so how do you deal with this?
Strategic launch detected.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected. 2 nukes out. One of them's going for the Navy at least. The other one is going maybe right here. We'll focus on the one on the Navy because I doubt Rick's gonna move his. And the Navy is gonna move, but it's gonna be a little bit too little and a little bit too late. That's gonna be a lot of dead boats. And over here to the west, it seems as though the nuke is indeed going for Knack Attack, and I think it might get him. No! Where is that going? There's nothing there! Oh, it is going for Knack Attack. I'm an idiot. I thought it was going for that island. And Knack Attack is down. Second player for Team 2 to go down. Team 1, critically, hasn't managed to lose any of their players. Even Ghouls. I mean, Ghouls especially. Ghouls still has super heavy shield. Ghouls is a hard cookie to crack. A bunch of strat bombers now coming in. They're going to be trying to take out the factory. The gigafactory of Boblin. Here they come. There's all the bombs coming in, trying to get damage done, but it's a lot of shields to break through. Fortunately for them, they're going to get multiple passes. Another nuke launched. More nukes coming out. But they're not going to be coming out for long as in comes the bombs, and oh no! The SMDs are down. And this air control out from Virus has been crippling. Oh, strategic launch detected. The SMDs aren't there to protect. The defenses are not in place. And the Gigafactory will be defeated. The nuke down to the south didn't manage to land for Boblin. And here soon he won't have any more nukes to launch. Any of these nuke subs carrying a nuke? Not one. I would think Frondator would be sitting on enough economy to load a bunch of nukes. But doesn't seem that's the case. And in comes the nuke. The Gigafactory has seen its last SU produced, and that SU won't live to tell the tale. The next nuke going over here trying to kill off Atlantis. Does it one-shot in Atlantis, 40k HP? Ah, it does. Gets one Atlantis. So all of about 30 seconds of effort over here for Boblin. And I think Boblin might be planning a land invasion. Might be, as in he has, you know, just a casual 28 SCUs about to make landfall. With the assistance of a bunch of Atlantis. Some Salem's walking onto land trying to cut down the massive economy of Virus, 960 mass a second. Another launch detected. This one's going for Frondator's base. Can he load in time? Doesn't seem as though he can. I guess he forgot to rebuild his anti-nuke earlier. So in comes the nuke. And soon the base will be gone with it. And that's unfortunate for Fundator, but it's really not the end of the world. I don't think the majority of his economy is right there. Pretty sure the majority of his economy is... Well, actually, it is all still kind of based in mass extractors. So overall right now, torpedo bombers are not going to do well against Atlantis that are surfaced. Strat bombers won't even do well. It will. I'm pretty sure it will be a mass inefficient trade, no matter what you're using. Because these things are pretty good at killing off flying units. Are any of these loaded yet? Why are they taking so long to load? Is my question. A bunch of the SCUs about to make landfall and try and fight a land war. Monkey Lord from Fundator gonna try and make itself known, make something happen. Wonder where this nuke is going. It's on a trajectory where it's maybe gonna go for this Navy. Navy is getting shot at by Dukes. Okay. I guess it's going for the naval production of Fundator. Surprisingly, Elwyn is getting back up there in economy, 260 mass a second. And still at the top of the reclaim board at 73,000. Nuke does land, killing off the naval production. Strat bombers are coming out. Looks like they want to try and fight some Atlantis. Not sure they're going to have too much fun with that idea. A wave of Atlantis coming out, but they're going to go after full health Atlantis. Not even one of the ones that's heavily damaged. I guess the ones that are damaged have fallen back. And there's still just enough Atlantis to say, hey, screw it. I don't care if you use air against me. I have enough anti-air to deal with this. Sure, this one. You may kill one Atlantis. I'm pretty sure you spent more on the torpedo bombers. Maybe not, but as far as I remember, Atlantis are incredibly cheap. They're like the cheapest experimental. And they don't even get it. And that Atlantis now has veterancy and will start regenerating. That is a lot of torpedo bombers over here for Boblin. And there's really no... I mean, I guess there are ASF, but not really all that many to talk about. Don't know why you want the torpedo bombers so bad. I feel like ASF would be really big right here, but mass T3 land factories is going to be built over here. Another nuke detected. It seems seemingly going over here towards the Atlantis. And all of these nuke subs are now loaded. Please move them. Please move them. Please move them. Please don't tell me that we're going to lose these nuke subs to a nuke. They're all loaded. All but one. Oh, we might lose one, maybe two. The Atlantis will die too, of course. We lose one nuke sub.
Strategic launch detected.
Another nuke going out. He's trying to nuke the Atlantis. But Mass Titan is soon going to be on his doorstep as Boblin refuses to give up. Rick also sitting on a ridiculous economy. He's starting to build his own ASF. The Atlantis count is being culled a little bit. The SAM line's being built in the water. And the Titan and now Fat Boy production has been started up. Fundator has built another experimental. There's a Monkey Lord walking through the bases. There's Salem's getting killed off by broadswords. Oh, this is very, this game is a interesting case study. Another nuke lands back here, killing off minimal eco. Overall economies is still very close between the teams. And Elwyn is kind of rebuilding the map. I wonder what the strategy here is for Elwyn. As a bunch of SCUs are now going to go down. Oh no, Boblin going to lose a ton of economy here. Has some Atlantis built up to try and help defend against this, kill broadswords, kill the strat bombers. But this is already looking a little bit sus. Monkey Lord walking into maybe the only base it wouldn't be able to do damage in. Yep, kills off an anti-nuke. I guess he wants the anti-nuke dead, but at what cost? You're losing one of the only strong units you have left. Has a bunch of nuke subs, all loaded, mind you. Decided they're not really worth using. Wait, they were all loaded. What did he launch at? What did he kill? Not kill anything? Did that have a fully loaded SMD and it shot down all the nukes? If so, man. One, I'm blind. Two, that's funny.
Strategic launch detected.
We're now looking at three. There's a salvation! And Elwyn has gone for the telemaser onto Virus. And they may be able to get it. Virus now taking damage, realizes their mistake, gets underneath another shield, but still has no tele defense. And if it tries to run away, if that nuke dies, Virus goes down to a telesnipe out from Elwyn. And Elwyn's going to be able to kill the Salvation before they leave. As long as the comm focuses the Salvation. Salvation gonna go down. Elwyn with the comm has killed 216, 231. About to kill off a Duke. 300,000 mass killed on a telecom. The Salvation fails. A nuke lands over here, killing an Atlantis and some land production. But now it's Rick versus the world, and Rick has a bunch of nuke subs. Which is not the worst plan if you're trying to rule the world. What a bad plan would be is putting your comm... I mean, he's not outside of anti-nuke range, I don't think. He might be close to it. Oh, yeah, no, his comm is still relatively safe there. Team 1 up here has been fighting quite the war, is all I have to say. And we're going to go back to mass generation numbers. And Team 2 has, like, it's just this combined front. Everybody's working together. The bases are just combined hodgepodges of everybody. The land is a no-go, but this water up here is their sanctuary. And they're still sitting, all of them are over 200 mass a second. They're all still sitting on, like, formidable economies. I don't know about build power. That might be a problem. Especially since we've lost so many SCUs for some of these players. The broadsword's gonna come in. They will eventually kill off the Atlantis. And Rick may have been able to make something happen. And that something is a victory. Because right now it's looking like Rick is not scared of anything. Sitting in a very strong position. Although, the commander of Elwyn is teleporting. Where are they going? They're going to the Heartlands. You don't want to focus ASF. He's already teleporting out. Focusing ASF is bad. Set the comm to, like, power priority or something. Gonna kill off the T3 Air HQ, maybe. It's really not gonna kill very much at all. This comm having real struggles with what it wants to kill and what it doesn't. You gonna keep teleporting around, Elwyn? That's what I would do. I'd probably teleport right here. Because this seems like an area where you can get a lot of value, especially since all these are building. If he doesn't manually tell them to stop, and there's so much explosive stuff here, and they have to know that that exists. Yeah, they should know. There's no tele-defense anywhere. You could just kill the anti-nuke. You could kill the anti-nuke, and you have a bunch of nukes, and these nuke subs needs to ask his teammate. Oh, a teleport just happened, I think. No, it wasn't a teleport. Strategic launch detected. It's going here to the middle. Oh, if they just communicated a little bit, they could win the game. And I'm rooting for them because they've been scrappy. But Rick has also just played a clean game, and I kind of think he deserves it. Oh! No, there's an anti-nuke there. It's not going to work. Was that all of the nukes? That was all of the nukes. Unfortunate. Rick still over 1,000 mass a second. Rick still sitting on multiple nuke launchers. Rundator points out the SMD. Elwin, you have the tools. Rundator could get the tools to make something happen here. Mass Czar now started up for Ghouls, who somehow has the economy for it. How does everybody have so many Rascoms? I mean, he doesn't really have that many, but everybody is sitting on like 300-400 mass a second, but they have no, like, I can understand some of the players, but other players just have nothing. Like Ghouls has straight up nothing. I don't think they have a single max. Oh, they have mass fabs. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. What is Rick's plan? Rick isn't even loading some of these nuke subs. 2 of them aren't loading. This one's about to load its first nuke. This one's already loaded. Elwin, what you gonna do? When you gonna teleport? Virus. Trying to tell Rick to look at the corners. Not sure why. The broadsword's gonna kill off some of the last Atlantis. Sending out torpedo bombers to try and get some damage done, but like, it's gonna be hard to get any comms. Ghoul's comm is probably the easiest to get to, but he also has super heavy shield, so you're gonna need a lot of torpedo bombers. More Atlantis being built. Czars being built in mass. Did one of those Czars go down? Where's the Czar? If it did go down... Oh, this isn't going to help me at all. Like, at all. Oh no, the Czar is in the base! The Czar just waltzed on over! It's like, I heard there was a party! Oh no, Rick! And Team 2 are falling apart at the seams. It's a disaster. This game is an example of why you get teledefense. Especially over an hour into a Seton's game. It's pretty much required. And Rick's empire is slowly being ripped apart. Team 1 already lost their empire a long time ago. They're just the band of rebellious... They're the rebellion. This is the empire. This is the rebellion. And the empire strikes back with this nuke. Seems as though it's going for, like, I guess Rascom production over here. See, this is the best part about being on Team 1. The enemy team doesn't have a good place to nuke. There's nowhere you can nuke and deal, like, substantial damage to the enemy team. Because they're so spread out. And also, there's just anti-nukes randomly strewn about by Elwin. Actually, that's Elwin's only anti-nuke. And it's protecting almost nothing. But it did protect where that nuke was going. So it was valuable. That's a bunch of Atlantis. Oh, and they're building up strat bombers and like T3 air units. Yes! Oh, Boblin. What juicy... Oh, he's just now starting production with those. Another Czar is going to complete here in a moment. Is that the second Tsar? I don't know. It just seems like the Tsar is invisible to me. I can't see the green dot. More SCUs are being produced. Ghouls is going to get more economy to throw into more Tsars. And I find that very funny. The broadswords come in, but they're running into a bunch of aircraft carriers in Atlantis. These are like the things that are just, they don't care. They genuinely don't care if you are around them, if you exist around them, because they'll kill you off. The Tsar is gonna come in and get real damage, isn't it? Oh, the Tsar didn't kill off the anti-nuke here, so they can't nuke it. Not that they really have any nukes. They have a couple of nuke subs about to finish loading. Strategic launch detected out from this base. Somehow this nuke launcher survived. Or was rebuilt. Don't know what this nuke is going for. Even if it kills one of the comms, there's another player who is, no offense, but just as capable, as far as the players have shown so far, to just deal with it. And there's an anti-nuke up here. It's not loaded, so it's not going to do too much, but it does exist. Critically to note. Over here, Elwyn, who is sitting on a pretty high economy, is getting nuked. Elwyn's commander deciding not to teleport anywhere. Yet again, this anti-nuke and this anti-nuke go down, and game is pretty much over. Those are the last two anti-nukes that matter. But this is something that matters a lot. This is before the Tsar lost all of its fall damage, so... Oh, wow, it only killed one of the dukes. And the shielding was enough, apparently. Well, that doesn't matter because another Tsar is going to finish up in a couple of minutes. Do these Atlantis have anything built yet? Oh, they did, but they released it all. Okay. This nuke finally lands. Okay, so... we're gonna speed this up because it's getting a little bit silly. And over here, the governors, they're gonna kill off all of the air that Boblin so carefully constructed. Another nuke sub is gonna die to a nuke. The nuke launchings coming from Rick are getting plentiful. 2 Atlantis and a nuke sub. Nuke over here going off. Lots of nukes. Seems to be a theme with whenever I cast Setons. Is a lot of nukes. Monkey Lord gonna come in, kill the dukes, but the dukes haven't really been doing much. You need to kill anti-nukes and get nuke subs. That's the play. Am I crazy? Where is Elwyn's comm? Where is... oh, it's here in the middle. You gonna use that teleporter ever again? You really achieved a lot when you used it last time. All I gotta say. That's a Tsar chasing down broadswords, which are getting killed anyways. That's a nuke that's gonna come over here and probably kill all of this off. There's more Monkey Lords. This Monkey Lord didn't even get all the dukes that were over here. More nukes being launched. Nuke lands. Okay. Yeah, Rick watched the video. Rick realized that, hey, mass nuke sub kinda looks like it's just gonna work. Although Rick really hasn't done much to defend the comm. I mean, from, like... I mean, I guess... it's just this one anti-nuke. That's all you need. That one anti-nuke and then have some nuke subs that are loaded. But these players have been playing for so long, you have to think. Their brains are probably a little bit fried. Or hell, even if you could manage it, because Rick does have Omni. I'm gonna say, if you could manage it, if you could sneak all the way around the edge of the map and get over him with the Tsar, you might be able to kill him. He's having power struggles, surprisingly. It's a lot of pigeons to have power troubles still. I guess he does have a stupid amount of nuke subs, 19, that he's trying to load. The Tsar is apparently going to come in here through the middle. And the nuke subs... Oh, the Tsar goes down before ever reaching its target. The mass Atlantis... What he needs is maybe air control. What they need is nuke subs and Elwyn to get the kill onto the antis. Elwyn could do it. The shielding no longer working. I don't know what. I guess the nuke subs are just too much to load right now. And Elwyn, we need you to teleport. It's what's needed right now. We have multiple monkey lords. We just need the anti-nukes dead for Team North. Team South already have the game-winning strategy on their mind, and the game-winning strategy is, of course, nuke subs and normal nukes. Strategic launch detected. The anti-nuke was killed! I don't know by what, but they managed... Oh, they killed it with the missile launchers on the nuke sub! That's using your brain. And the nuke sub should have enough range that it can just barely kill off that commander if they can make it happen. All of the dukes are dead. Long live the duke.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
The nuke sub's over here for Rick. They're peppering the land, but I don't think that Rick can win the game outright with the nuke subs. No, he can't! The nukes can't go far enough. Now the nukes from the base can.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch. Strategic launch detected.
Strategic launch, strategic launch, strategic launch detected. Oh.
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
This might be a challenger for the nuclear warcast. And Elwyn kills Rick. No! Oh, we missed it, but we know what happened. Rick went back onto land, which was a crucial mistake, and Elwyn pounced the moment it happened. Oh. Oh. Whew. That game, Team 1 winning with no casualties. Every player is surviving, but their base is not so lucky. Rick sitting on a fleet of nuke subs. Thought he could make it happen, but was unprepared. Thank you all for watching. You've been beautiful. Thank you to the channel Patreons and the Patreon members and channel members. You all are amazing. You support me so much. If you're interested in those, Patreon, everybody knows what Patreon is. Channel membership is Patreon, but run through YouTube and gives you access to videos early and a few other perks. Whenever I live stream, you can get emotes. You all are so beautiful. Thank you all for watching. This is Willow, signing off.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby,